Peak of summer update, Butia eriospatha. This one I've had for 3 years now. It's doing quite well for me. I've noticed that with this heat, this thing has exploded. It just opened up a big new spear, and those spears usually have multiple fronds on them. So a bunch of new fronds opened. I've been watering this because when you get heat like this and you see them actively growing, you really, they can take the drought. They can, no problem. They'll, they won't burn or anything like that. But if you hit them with water during this time period, that's when you're going to see good growth. So it's been through almost 3 years in the ground. In comparison to my odorata, so far this one seems slower, but I also planted it smaller. So when I bought this, it was in maybe a 3-gallon or a 5-gallon. It fit in the back of my SUV standing up, so it was less than 3 feet tall, and it would have been less than 3 feet around. Right now it's about 90 inches wide and about 4.5 feet tall. Growing well here. I find that it doesn't suffer from spotting in the winter, and so now my big odorata I planted at this size, and almost 6 years later, there it is. So we shall see. This will be a good comparison. I know that big one is 12 feet tall and about 13 feet around, and I can reference the videos and we can do a comparison. Eriospatha seems to have slightly finer leaflets. These are a little more graceful, slender, if you want to call it that, and reputedly a little bit more cold hardy, about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, if that even really makes a difference. But I have not been able to test it, and I sure hope that I don't. Just kind of walking around, I see some interesting coloration on the trunk. I didn't know if it was actually attempting to flower, but I don't think it is. Just kind of pull this back. So this frond just popped. There's a couple more there. This one just popped. So loving the heat, doing great. And like I said, in winter, I find that this seems to tolerate the moisture a little bit better, because it rarely gets any black spotting on the leaves. Sometimes you'll see that on palms if you live in kind of a wet winter climate, but for the most part, this one is doing great. Loving life and loving heat, and since I took out, I had ceanothus all around it. It's getting even more sun than it had before, so we'll see how that turbocharges the growth or not. I do have some plants I'm going to be putting in, smaller ones. I've just been waiting for the heat to pass. Anyway, I'm going to give you another shot. It's really starting to look like a nice palm. Thanks for watching.